Hey, visibility hackers, welcome back. We are in day 2 of our social marketing series, and today we're going to talk about social marketing principles. So buckle up, stay tuned. Hey, I'm Coach Molle from Visibility Hacking Studios, and we help small businesses boost their visibility online. So whether you're a small business, you're a coach, you're a solopreneur, a mompreneur, a digital entrepreneur, we have the tools and strategies to help you boost your visibility and bottom line, start making more money in your business. So here we go. Let's dive in. Today, day 2 in our series, we're talking about the principles of social marketing. Because if we want to be successful in this world, we have to know the foundations. I'm always stressing the foundations. So social marketing is incredibly powerful. And in the last episode that you're definitely going to want to check out, we talked about the social marketing revolution. And in this episode, we're going to take it a little bit further, and we're going to talk about the principles and the pillars behind social selling success. So if you want to be successful, then stay tuned. In this video, you're not going to want to miss it. We're going to start out by talking about the 4 P's of social marketing. And then we're going to talk about the key factor to success when it comes to using social marketing. And then at the end, stay tuned for this one. You don't want to miss it. We are going to talk about using the social selling principle that instantly positions you as an expert. So if this interests you, my friends, and you want to boost your brand's visibility, you want to use social marketing to your business advantage, then definitely stay tuned. I'll see you after the intro. So if you've been in the marketing world for a little bit, you have probably heard of the 4 P's of marketing. But today we're going to get a little bit more fine-tuned, a little bit more niche down, and we're going to talk specifically about the 4 P's and how they relate to social selling. So let's get into it. First, we have to talk about product. So the product is the thing that you're selling. And the thing you're selling doesn't have to be a physical item. You might be working in the digital space. Maybe you're selling a course or information. Maybe you're selling an ebook, which really isn't tangible per se, but it is still an item. Maybe you are selling a transformation of sorts. We always come back to the example of a fitness coach. If you're helping people with their fitness, you are helping them with their transition in a sense. So think about your key benefits. These are things you're going to want to be stressing when you're creating marketing messages in the social selling world. We want to create the messages that help highlight what the benefits of our product or service or our offer are. We want to think about that behavior change that we see within people who have chosen to purchase our product or our solution or our service. We want to highlight these because we're not just highlighting the physical product. We want to look more holistically. We want to look for the transformations that our product and our service helps our customers achieve. When we stress that, it plays really nicely in a social selling environment, but it also speaks much more deeper to our customers. It's not just stuff on their shelves. It's a transformation that's going to help them achieve the things in their life that they have not been able to achieve thus far. So that's product. Now let's talk about price, or the cost for your item. Now in traditional marketing, when we talk about price, we talk about the actual cost, the dollar amount. This costs $19.97. This costs $2.27. This high ticket package is $5,000 a month. That's not what we're going to think about when we're talking in a social selling atmosphere. We're talking about that transformation when we talk about social selling, remember? So when it comes to the price, what I want you to think about is the price and the cost associated with not taking action, with not taking you up on your solution. So if we go back to that example we keep using of a fitness coach helping someone lose weight, the cost of not being able to achieve that transformation is very, very high. We can talk about the medical bills that will ensue if we don't get our lives healthy. We can talk about the emotional cost and the emotional price of not being able to play with your grandkids or keep up with your kids, or not being able to show up when we should as parents in our families, for example. Look at what the cost of stopping that unhealthy behavior is, or the cost of not adopting that new behavior. And that it takes a shift in our brains as marketers. We have to think about our product and our solution in a completely different way. And this is why it's important to understand who your customer avatar is. Understand what are the problems that they are facing so that we can create the messaging that aligns with that customer. So we create a cost formulation that aligns with the obstacles, the dreams, and the goals of that ideal customer. Now let's talk about place. Place is all about, in a conventional marketing sense, it's all about where does your product show up? Does it show up on the store shelves when they're hungry in the grocery store? Does it show up conveniently where they're able to access it? Does your marketing material show up conveniently when they're looking for it? Now, it's a little bit different in a social selling capacity because we're looking now at the opportunities to access your products, your services, the places to engage in these types of behaviors. Remember, we're looking at a transformation. We're not looking at accumulating items. We're looking at changing behaviors, changing lifestyles. So if we look at that coach who helps people lose weight, again, that same example, we can look at creating a place that gathers the people and allows for that change in behavior. So a fitness coach, for example, would have a gym. And at that gym, they're not selling hot dogs and cheeseburgers. They're selling healthy foods. In the gym, they don't have comfy couches for everyone to sleep and hang out on and fill with their Cheeto dust. Instead, they have activities and workout gear because that's the lifestyle, that's the change in behavior that this brand is bringing about. So think about that in terms of your stuff as well. I love creating live shows because live shows enable us to create that space that every single one of our consumers can tap into, regardless of where they are physically in the world. A live show can show up on their cell phone. A live show can show up in their office on their computer. They can listen while they're doing something else. They can listen in the car while they're driving, for example. There's lots of ways that you can bring your messaging and your change in behavior into their worlds very, very simply. Now, the last of the 4 P's is promotion. And this is when we talk about communicating all of this information we just talked to our target audience. So yes, of course, I'm going to say start a live show. It's a great way to be consistent with that messaging. If you think about it, talk show radio hosts get huge followings because they are constantly there sharing different perspectives on that same message. Same thing can be true, same thing can be harnessed for your business. And it's all about using social selling. Pretty cool, pretty simple, but pretty cool. It all just takes a shift in our perspective and the way that we see the selling process. Oh my goodness, my friend. So question of the day. Have you considered the perspective of social selling in your business? Have you had that shift, and are you focused on the behaviors and transformations that your products, services, or offers help achieve with your customers? Let me know down in the comments if you are already engaging in this type of thought process. If not, let me know what your biggest obstacle is or if you have any questions along the way. I'd love to help you out, and I'd love to help you connect more intentionally to your ideal customers. We have to talk about recognition, understanding that in a social selling environment that we want to hype up our people. We want to lean on social selling principles. Social selling comes from the social psychology and what happens in our brains that keeps us engaged in activities, that helps us change that behavior, that motivates us to do something difficult to either get us out of an uncomfortable place or to move us towards somewhere that's more pleasurable, that's more desirable. all of this is embedded in our psychology. So as marketers and as those who are trying to sell our products, our services, and our solutions, we need to harness that power. We need to take that psychology under consideration. So when this very simplest way, I think, to create that trigger in people's brains is to lean on recognition. People love to have someone else recognize their efforts. So again, let's go back to the example of the fitness coach. When our fitness coach shouts out in her Facebook group to the students who this month have put in their certain amount of exercise per month, maybe they have a goal of achieving maybe 25 days of exercise in the month. And those who are able to achieve that, they get recognized. I used to go to this awesome gym that had this massive chart. It took up almost an entire wall. It had every student's name on one side. It had all of the different goals that we try and achieve, whether it's a certain amount of weight on our squats, whether it's being able to jump to a certain height. Maybe it's being able to row a certain number of calories in a certain amount of time. All of these different competitions we had listed on the wall. And as you were able to achieve those, you got to have this moment of writing your score up on the wall. Then our coach took a picture of that. He'd post that on our social platforms. We'd be able to see and be recognized by not only the coach himself, but the wider community in our gym, but also even wider, those who were potential customers, those who were social followers of this gym, but who weren't yet customers. Having those moments of recognition, beautiful. How else can we do this? If you have a digital product, you can create badges that you share in your social groups. You can have monthly competitions. You can have ongoing competitions. You can have each customer set a goal. I teach rock climbing for fun, and I always ask my students before they step up to the wall to set a goal. Sometimes they'll tell me what that goal is. Maybe it's to reach the blue level. We have different colored levels on our climbing wall. Maybe it's to reach the blue level. Maybe it's to reach a specific hold. Maybe it's to get all the way to the top. Maybe they're adding extra challenge and they're trying to do it blindfolded, or they're trying to do it with only one hand and they have the other hand tied behind their back. Whatever it is, having those moments for one, letting your students pick those goals, which helps them push themselves towards that goal. It also helps you, their coach, or the person that's helping them, the expert that's helping them get to that goal. You know where they want to get to, so you can help them find that route. And then at the end, when they achieve that goal, you take the moment to celebrate that widely. In the visibility hacking world, we have graduation ceremonies that are publicly available. They're streamed publicly so that our students can invite their friends and family members and loved ones to really celebrate that accomplishment with them after they've gone through a really difficult program, and they are coming out the other side in a much stronger way. So take those moments to recognize the effort and recognize the achievement on the micro level as well as on a macro level. So micro level means in the visibility hacking world, if you join us for Live Academy, for example, each week gives you a milestone. We celebrate those. We celebrate those within the group. Then at end of graduation, we celebrate those with the wider community. So looking for both levels of recognition is really going to help your people stay focused. And also, what will help you stay focused on building your brand's visibility is to hit the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and join us here on the channel on a regular basis. By simply subscribing, YouTube will serve up all of our videos as they are launched so that you can get this information into your business to help impact your customers on a regular basis. We'd love to have you along for the ride. We also have to recognize one of the most important things that we can do to turn ourselves into the expert is, well, look in the mirror, actually. You'll realize that you have 2 ears and only one mouth. which is a sign. It should be a reminder. Every time you look at yourself in the mirror, you see your presentation on video, for example, is you have to remind yourself that you have 2 ears and 1 mouth, and that's how you become an expert. You should listen twice as much as you are talking. If you want to talk effectively, you need to know what to say. And believe it or not, your customers will actually tell you exactly what to say. You just have to know where to look, and you just have to know how to listen. So go out there. We're always telling you to build up ask campaigns, ways that you can ask your customers for their feedback. Ask them what they're struggling with. Ask them where you can help. When you're running programs, look at what your students are doing. I find so many digital business owners and digital entrepreneurs, especially in the info business, who build up these companies, they build up these programs, they get students in because they're really great marketers, they do that, but then they stop. They don't pay attention. Once the customer is paid for the product, some of these entrepreneurs just stop caring. Instead, I want you to pay attention. And I know this is true because if you've been with us before, you've heard the story of Live Academy from its beginning, and when it used to be a year-long program. And we'd work one-on-one with students, and we'd only have 5 students at a time. And we did that because there was so much work. We were trying to get our students to climb Mount Everest, pretty much, when really they just needed to learn how to crawl. And so we completely changed it. Every single time we've run the program, we've changed it based on the feedback from the students in the previous round. We went from this huge program to something that we can do in a month. From that, we saw that down to 3 months, we saw that our students were still deer in headlights, scared because of the amount of work. The drop-off rate throughout week to week to week kept increasing because it was just too much. It wasn't properly aligned. So we listened. We listened to where they were struggling. We created new resources. We looked at what was irrelevant and what was taking them into tangents, and we took that stuff out. We simplified the message. We created a product that was much better tailored to helping our students achieve success. It wasn't just achieve this end result. It was, how do I get our students, those specific students, to achieve that success? And it all happened because we listened. We listened to the things that they were sending us in direct messages. We listened to their comments. We listened to their feedback on our live shows. We listened, and then we created something new. That's what I want for your business as well. And it all happens because we're in this environment where we can engage in those social commentaries. We can engage in questioning each other. We can engage in conversation. Or as we like to say in the visibility hacking world, we can engage in connection with our people. That's the difference. So go start implementing all of that stuff. And if you want a hand building your marketing for your small business, you got to start with a marketing plan. If you want a template for it, there's one down below for you. So definitely check that out. I will see you in our next one. Join us again tomorrow. Make sure you subscribe so you get the next video in this social selling series. You are not going to want to miss this. This is so important. It's not just social media marketing, it's social marketing. We can do this online, we can do this in person, we can do this on Mars. It doesn't matter. As long as we are engaging in connection with our people, that's going to completely change the game for you guys. So thank you so much for joining me for today's episode. We will see you back here again very, very soon. Until then, remember, I love you. Be excellent to each other and just go live. Your people are out there waiting for you.